Well, hello everyone. So this is a bit of a different video for us. When we were last in Orlando, I brought a new camera and we did some recording and vlogging as we walked around. Not as much as we wanted to, but when we got back home, whatever it was, either the camera or the micro SD card we were using, I don't think it was good enough to use in that particular 4K camera. So a lot of the footage wasn't good enough. So this video I've never put out there. Because of the sound quality or lack of, there was actually no sound on this particular part of the video. So this is the day we went out to Gatorland. It was really hot. We drove down from central Orlando where we were staying. As you can see from the video now, we popped in and saw all the gators. This is just as you come in behind the main entrance. So as you walk through the main gate, pay your entry fee, this is the first thing you see as you come through. I think the kids found it really interesting, and because obviously seeing this volume of gators in one place live is quite something when you're from a small little town in the east of England. This is quite different. There was actually one part where you can actually pay to hold a gator, and I'm looking at the birds here as you go through to the next section. This is where some birds are that you can talk to. But what we found was when we were going round, I found the camera a little bit jittery. But what I was going to say was there was an element where you could actually hold a gator, and Charlotte, who was only 5 at the time, she was desperate to hold it. So we paid for a picture to be taken. She took the, and that's Charlotte coming home now. She took the gator and then immediately handed it to me. So me, without even wanting to, I held a gator for the first time. So as we're doing, we're just looking at the birds as we're going round. And a few macaws and things like that. So what we found with Gatorland is it can get rather busy, and there are lots of things you can do when you're in Gatorland. So what we decided to do, I think it was the Stomper Trail, where you got on the big 4x4. There will be some footage coming up a little bit later of that, and that part actually recorded quite nicely. But as you can see here, we're going through the reptile house where there's snakes and things like that. Again, being from our little part of the world in England, this is quite different to see, and we don't usually see things like this. I think you can see from the video footage that the quality isn't as good, and hopefully with the new camera that I've got, next time round you will see a big enhancement when it comes to the quality of imagery and also sound quality as well. There you go, looking at more snakes as we go through. But like we said, you can do lots of different add-on things when you're in there. Now, the first time I went was actually in 2007, I think it was. And back then, at the back of the park, where there's now the albino alligators, and speak of the devil, there we are, there was actually like a walkway through a forest, which we did, and it was amazing. Here we are walking out onto one of the docks where you can actually feed the gators. And I think there might be some footage in a bit of Joseph trying to pop some food through the net. I think here's me trying to lean over to get a good look at them. So you're only about 6-8 feet away from them. Obviously you're perfectly safe. And there's Joe with a bag of gator food, and there's little Charlotte as well. They're making our way back through. Big bird. And a lot of those birds that you see swooping around, they're trying to get the gator food as well. I think coming through now to where the flamingos are. So it looks like one big open lagoon, but they are perfectly separated and segregated. Here we go, here's Joe going to feed some gators, trying to push it through the net. And then standing back. There's a big boy down there. I think I'll try and get through the net there. There he is. And then I'll try and drop some food over as well. So I think you get an idea there of how big Gatorland actually is. And there's a little petting zoo, little farm towards the back. There's some goats. I think there's an emu over there. And there's a goat having a scratch. You can see they're very eager to get fed. I think you could buy some ice cream cones with some seed in that you can feed them. I think they're more interested in the cone than they were the actual feed. I don't remember if we brought any ice cream cones for them. I can't remember now. Very friendly. Now this was that ride or that experience I was telling you about. Again, you can pay for the add-on. Everything's an add-on, either the train ride or other bits and pieces you can do. There you go. I think there's some sound there, so I'll just stop and listen to that.